My name is Hannah. I'm from St. Augustine, Florida, and I grew up in a family that wasn't really practicing. We were Catholic, but we didn't really go to Mass. We went to Mass maybe Christmas and Easter. So growing up, I wasn't really into my faith. But when I went to college, when I went to university, I kind of delved more into it. I got into Focus, which is the Fellowship of Catholic University Students. But basically, I got to go to Bible studies, and I met a lot of my friends that way. So they really encouraged me in my faith. But one fun fact about me is I'm a nerd. I really like studying. I like books. I like engineering, so I actually studied to be an engineer. And my second year of university, I entered into like these really tough courses called weed out classes. So they were difficult on purpose so that you would drop out. And I remember like before that year, I was like, oh, I'm such a good Catholic. Like I went from not going to Mass at all to going like 4 times a week and then hanging out with my friends at Bible study and all this stuff. And then I got into that semester or that year and just like put everything on the sidelines and just said, hey, in order to do well in school, I need to put everything off. Like didn't really hang out with my friends, didn't go to Mass that often. So I like poured myself into my studies. Like that's all I ever did from like when I woke up to when I went to sleep. Besides that, I had a part-time job. So I woke up at 5:30 every morning, went to my part-time job, and then classes and schoolwork was like all I did. And then I had my first round of exams, and like I got all 4 of them back in the same day, or same like 2 days, and I got a C, 2 Ds, and an F. So from being like a straight A student to getting that kind of grades, like it really made me crash. Like I just didn't know what to do with myself. So I went back to my dorm and did what any normal person should do. I just cried and let myself, feel it out. But then I just remember kind of like sitting in my room and just saying like, I think what I need is God. Like Jesus, I think I just need you. I think I need more of you. And my roommates were really good. They were Catholic. And they came to me and said, hey, Hannah, can you come to Mass with us? Like, would you like to go to Mass with us? And it was a Tuesday, and I hadn't been on a weekday in forever. So I was like, oh, yeah, I should probably go. So I went with them separately, and I sat in the back by myself, and I was just, still like kind of feeling like, what do I do? Like, this is who I am. I'm a good student. I'm not doing well. Like, what do I do? Jesus, I think I need more of you. Jesus, I think I need more of you. So it came time for the communion at Mass, and that's Mass. Communion is when like the priest like holds up the bread and consecrates it. So it's we as Catholics believe it's like the true presence of Jesus, and so it's when you go up and you actually get the bread from the priest. And yeah, I went up in the line and I was like, Jesus, I guess I just need more of you. Like I'm gonna try, And so I get up there and I hold out my hands, and then he puts like 5 in my hand. And I was like, what? And his face was just like, go for it. And so I ate 5 times the normal amount. And I just remember feeling full, like I felt satisfied, like it felt like I'd eaten a meal. And when I finally went back to my seat, I like actually started laughing because I was like, oh, like Jesus, I prayed for more of you, and you very literally answered my prayer. And like what I take away from that is just that I kind of turned my back on God that year. But as soon as I reached out, he actually like was there. He was immediately there. It wasn't like, oh, well, you ignored me, I'm going to ignore you. Like he was immediately there. And so from then on, it wasn't like I don't say like, oh, you shouldn't study, your school isn't important. Like I'm an engineer, I like school. School is important. But from then on, it wasn't my identity. Like my identity wasn't in being a great student, it was in being a child of God. And so, yeah, basically like from then on, if I didn't do well in school, which happened often, like I would not do well on a test or something, it no longer had that like crushing feeling. Instead, like I just knew who I was as like a child of God. And so it wasn't as crushing or anything. So my identity kind of changed. And then from then on, I'm not perfect, like I do struggle, but just knowing I always have that identity to lean back on, it's really good.